Nepali Women in Computing is one of Anita B. Sisters' affinity groups and was founded in November 2019. It is an online community based in the USA and Nepal. We aim to foster an encouraging and empowering community for Nepali women in the tech and the STEAM field. We organize multiple programs, events to serve our community. So please keep an eye out and try to participate in them as well. Introducing Information Interview series. We have started this series to provide an avenue for our members and wider audience to interact with successful STEM professionals like Prakriti and Babina, who we have today. With this series, we want to inform participants on possible career routes, roadmaps, the journey of the established professionals, and also facilitate networking. So, like I mentioned, we have Prakriti and Babina as our guest speakers today. Briefly introducing them, let me start with Prakriti. So she is a machine learning engineer in Smart Data Solutions. As a machine learning engineer based in Kathmandu, she has been professionally involved in the dedicated field for 2 complete years now. Currently, she is working with Smart Data Solutions primarily with a focus on leveraging AI for healthcare document automation. Additionally, she firmly believes in the fact that the best way to learn is by teaching. That's why she also serves as a part-time academic tutor at Herald College, Kathmandu, where until today she has had the opportunity to help students pick an understanding of concepts and build familiarity with skills related to data science. Moving on, we have Babina as our guest speaker. She is a machine learning engineer at Fusemachines. She has been exploring AI and the transformative power it holds for the lives of people. She also writes technical articles on AI-related topics to demystify complex concepts. Moving on, I'd like to formally welcome Prakriti and Bhavinadi. Please start with your introductions. You can start or you can call out.
Okay. Can I start? Yeah. So yeah, thank you so much, Anupama, for the sweet introduction. Firstly, a very, very warm thank you to the entire Nepali Women in Computing team. I've actually been following your community for since a really long time, and being invited as a guest in one of your events was a pleasure for me. So yeah, without a second thought, I said yes when one of your members reached out to me. So yeah. And about me, I think Anupama covered most of it already. So yeah, I'm Prakriti Regmi, and I was somebody who was born in Kathmandu, raised in Kathmandu, meaning I did my schooling here in Kathmandu, and I've been practicing software engineering here in Kathmandu. I've had a couple of years of experience as a machine learning engineer. I started out as a machine learning intern and then moved on towards uh, working as a junior dev and then a mid-level dev. So yeah, I've been working currently in the company that I'm associated with is Smart Data Solutions, and I've been working in document automation, specifically towards documents related to US healthcare. So yeah, that's about me, and I look forward to sharing my experience with you all up in the session ahead. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Babina Banjara. So yeah, I have also been following the Nepali women in computing since long as Prakriti said, and yeah, it's been a pleasure for me to be here as a speaker. So talking about myself, I graduated as a computer engineer from Advanced College of Engineering and Management, and now I'm working as ML engineer at Fusemachines. So before working full time here, I was also a part of AI fellowship program at Fusemachines. So yeah, that's about me.
Thank you so much. We are really excited and really eager to hear about your journey too. So moving on with the questions. Can you tell us about your journey into the field of machine learning and how you ended up in your current role?
Okay, so I like to go. like I like to start with how I started or decided to be in the tech before I move on towards machine learning. Basically, like, well, I've heard many of my fellow members say that they were somebody who really loved computers since a really young age, and then they decided to come into computer science. But regarding me, I was not somebody who was very much fascinated by computers during a young age. But as I grew up, as it came a time where I had to select a major that I wanted to graduate in, I think I started filtering out subjects that I was less interested in, and I landed up in computer science as being the one I was more interested in. So yeah, given that fact, I decided to do computer science, do my bachelor's in computer science. I took up the course, and the best thing that happened during my undergrad years is that I got this opportunity to try, like, possibly all the near to all the subfields under computer science, like front end development, back end development, QA testing, even designing, and machine learning. And given the fact that I had this exposure to the various subfields, I could actually identify my interest in machine learning. And yeah, because of that, I was pretty clear that I wanted to do something in machine learning while I was, I think, the second year of my college. And and after having developed an interest in it, I started actually following up different communities that were, actively posting about machine learning and stuff. And luckily I got into one of an open communities that were, vouching about AI and ML then. And following up in the community, I happened to find a vacancy posted by them in one of their group channels. And following that, I applied for a job, landed the job as a machine learning intern during my final year of college. And so yeah, since then I've been here. So yeah, that's my journey.
Okay, so talking about my journey, like I was never certain on like what to choose as my major after my 12th, and for a fact, it was never computer engineering because as a high school student, I studied biology. But then I kind of lose interest in biology, and I was exploring different fields like what can I do, what's the trend now, and at the same time, I should be hyping as well. Then, then I came across computer engineering. So when I started, I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna go through this because there was this C programming in my first semester, which I found really, really tough. So, but slowly I started to like it. Then I explored a lot of other things like the front end, back end, cybersecurity. Like I tried everything, and then I know that I could do better in ML, and it is something that excited me as well. So then, in the course of learning ML, I was selected for the AI fellowship program at Fusemachines. So it was basically a complete AI course designed for a year, and there were these online classes maybe 2 times or 3 times a week. So yeah, I learned a lot from there as well. So it was during my I think sixth semester when I joined the fellowship program, and then after 5 or 6 months, I got a call for that they offered me a full-time job. So yeah, it was during my I think last semester I was doing this full-time job along with studies. So yeah, that's my journey.
Yeah, it's like so amazing and a little bit inspiring, funny that we never really had computer art as our first choice, but still end up doing it and doing it so amazingly. So I think that is something that we can all, kind of relate on. Moving on, what is your typical day-to-day responsibilities in your role? Like how many projects are you usually handling at a time, or anything about the projects that you particularly find interesting or challenging?
um what my day-to-day life as a machine learning engineer right now at Smart Data Solution looks like is that we get we are handed over a project. It's usually individual projects that we are supposed to take up as a machine learning team members. So what we do is like, uh, yeah, like you're given a time frame where you're supposed to get it done. So this the actually the work starts with preparing the data, to finding how can I make this data usable, to finding the right model, or even the right of subfield of machine learning that we can integrate to make sense out of the data and get best results. And when I'm talking about results, it's best accuracy and also the topmost level of automations that we can reach in order to deplete the number of manual work that has been happening in the back end. So yeah, that's what it looks like. I actually work in a team of, I think, around 6 people. I'm as a machine learning engineer, I'm managed by a team member, a team lead, who takes care of what projects, what an individual gets. And whenever we have some sort of queries, we reach out to him, because when we're doing machine learning, it's very important that we understand the subject domain clearly. And sometimes there's this gap which is being filled by the team lead, and also there are different guidance that we get from it. So yeah, that's what it looks like. Over to Babina now.
Babina Di, I think you're muted.
Okay, I'm sorry. Talking about my day, so it starts with the first stand-up where we discuss about the tasks that we are going to do for the entire day. And yeah, during the day, it's like you code, and most of the time it is debugging. Or I would say ML is like a lot of trials for that one output. So you change the bit in the code, you train the model, and wait for the response maybe for an hour or two sometimes. So yeah, that's the time when I just look around and to go for a walk and come back and see the results and then continue to do the stuff. So yeah, it is what like I start off with, and at the end of the day, I also have the last stand up where we discuss the progress that we have done in the day and plan for the next day. So yeah, in my current project, it's like we have a team of 6 members as well, 6 or 7 with the team lead. So there's one team lead who guide us throughout the project, and yeah, that's what my responsibilities are.
It's really amazing how you like manage your work-life balance by taking a little breaks and just not pressing it off that much. So, what programming languages and tools do you use most frequently in your work, and why? Also, how do you measure the performance and effectiveness of machine learning models in your projects? Like, what metrics do you typically use in the workplace?
So like over my career so far, like these 2 years of working as a machine learning engineer, what I've been utilizing so far is I'd like to begin with a very uh, familiar and something I think many of us love. The programming language is Python. So yeah, it's easy to use and easy to start with. So yeah, we very much leverage Python for it, and different libraries built around Python like TensorFlow and PyTorch. And because we have got so many powerful open source models, like right now we have been leveraging many hugging face models utilizing the transformers library. So yeah, these are the technologies that I use in a day-to-day basis, depending on the use case, depending on the model that I find out, and that turns out to be feasible for the project that I will be working in. And alongside that, there are also a lot many open source libraries being developed. Say Spacey has been there for a really long time for any kind of NLP related tasks. There's also libraries like Flare NLP and stuff. So yeah, it's matter of fact what is the project that I've been assigned into, and how I can deliver the project in an efficient and quick manner. So these are the tools that I've had the opportunity of working around so far. And regarding the later question that Anupama asked regarding how do I measure the effectiveness of my project, it's usually it's usually measured by the level of automation that my model can reach. And when I say automation, I am referring to model is never going to be it's not gonna give us 100% results. But with automation, and especially in cases where the data is likely to be noisy, we're not, there might be cases where I might not even reach 90% of accuracy while I'm working on a document extraction project. So in casings like that, what I aim for is maximum level of automation. So if any project that I'm working on is giving me 80% of automation, where 80% of any kind of data that I'm feeding into the model is predicting, near to 100% or 99.5% correct result, then I say, okay, this is going a good job. Now let's hand it over to the other developer or an implementation developer to, work around with it. So yeah, that is how I tend to measure the effectiveness of the project.
Okay, so talking about the programming language, as Prakriti said, it is Python that we work the most for machine learning. And besides Python, the tools and libraries that I am using every day is the open source LLMs. Since I'm working on the RSD pipelines for the chatbots, I mostly use the LLMs that are open source. So I source for the best model on the Hugging Face, and yes, I use those open source models. And regarding the performance matrix that you said, so I think for LLMs, there are a few evaluation metrics like blue scores and all, but I think it's better to do human evaluation. So mostly in our project, we have a team of data analysts. So they basically go through the results. They look into the original document. They look into the result that we provide them, and they calculate the accuracy, and that is what we present it to the client. So if it's better on say 20 documents, then it can do well for a rest 40 or 50 documents as well. So as far as it is concerned with language models, be it building RSD pipeline or just chatbots through the API calls, so I think a human evaluation is mostly necessary. So that is what we do.
So basically, it's like depending on what you're actually working on, the evaluation like comes up as it is, right? So I've not really had the chance to have that work environment yet, but I've heard most people say that it's like really important to have nice relation with your team and your manager. So how is it like for you guys? Like how is your relation to the team and the manager like?
Yeah, I think I very much agree to the fact that the kind of relationship that we share with the team member, and especially your team manager, matters a lot when you're working for a project or a company, because we're spending quite a lot of hours of the week in the place working for the project. So yeah, the relationship matters a lot. And if you're not feeling like you're putting in, if you're not putting in the best results out, or if you feel like you're not delivering your best, or if you feel like, things are not going correct in the work environment right now, then your performance is gonna lag, and it might even affect your self-esteem. So the kind of relationship we share matters a lot. And so far I've been lucky. The relationship has been really good. The team members are really helpful. Like whenever I'm stuck in problems for really long hours, I can just ping one of them. Despite the fact that they will be working in a completely different project, they do not hesitate to, put in some of their brains to, solve a problem. That's because everybody has this mindset of getting things done, and that's beautiful. And also the team manager, I think he has got this really good, eye for what project should I be handing over to whom at what time. So that really helps for us to get the work done, and even accelerate the delivery process too. So yeah, that the work environment that I've been in, or even was in before the current workplace, was good, and that did actually help in major percentage of my growth. So yeah, that's about me.
Yeah, I also believe it's very important to have a good manager to be productive throughout your working hours, because work becomes hectic most of the time. Like you get an issue, you spend an hours debugging it, but you see no progress. So, and these are the time when you really need that motivation to keep going. And a good manager can calm you through these times. Like you can communicate with them comfortably. Like, okay, I need some more time on this. So yeah, it's really important to have a manager who you can communicate very well with. So yeah, I have also been fortunate enough because my manager is also really good in these things. So she guides me throughout the process. Like whenever I get an issue, I immediately reach out to her and okay, she says you need to do this, and it would be better. So yeah, I have a really good relationship with my manager and also with the team. It is still like college for me. Because we sit on an hour, sit in the meet for hours to debug an issue, while also chit chatting because yeah, all of us are like-minded people, and I believe it is what makes work fun. Like you talk on an issue, and you have someone in the team who could help you resolve it. So yeah, I have a really good team as well.
That's like really nice to hear for both of you. What keeps you happy in your current role? So, what makes you want to go to like wake up and go to work and be excited for it?
For me, as a machine learning engineer, it's when the model that I train meets a really good accuracy level. Like just how Babina said that training a model takes really long time, and what if it does not converge, and if it's not gonna work, the hours that you spend training is gonna get wasted, right? But yeah, but there is definitely a reason why certain things happen, and we can definitely reconfigure it to get the expected result. But yeah, if it happens, if the model's performance meets my expectation at the first go, it makes me really happy. And the second part is definitely whenever the project that you spent months and months working on, it gets delivered and it's live. That's something that really, so I just wake up, work to see the project getting live. So that's something that keeps me up. And definitely, like, trying out different models, I think it's just adding up things into my skill set. So the thing that, okay, you're taking a step ahead every day, that fact also, it's something that keeps me going. Yeah.
Yeah, so you're happy when you get the things done right. So if you spend hours or maybe weeks, months to do something, and if uh, that's really if that's the thing that the client really wants, or if they are happy with it, then yeah, that makes me happy as well. And also in my current role, I love the fact that I have an opportunity to grow each day, challenge myself as well, and I have a good work-life balance. So, which is I think the most important thing. So, it's like 5 working days. For 5 working days, it is like 2 days working from office and 3 days working from home. So I think when it's working from home, like you get more time, uh, you save the time to go to the office and return back. So yeah, that's the good thing of getting to work from home. And yes, so for 2 days I go to office, I catch up with my teams, friends, go have a conversation with a cup of tea, listen to the office gossips, and so yeah, these are the things that really makes me happy, I would say.
Really nice. I mean, if you're working for something, you should be happy about it, right? And you should always be looking forward to it the next day too. So, besides work, any other projects or initiatives that you're like involved in, and why is it also interesting to you?
Well, I no, I've not directly been involved any active communities right now, but beside the working hour, I'm somebody who really likes, I really believe in the fact that you learn by teaching. So I really took a step of working as a academician in at a college I graduated from. with the sheer interest in presenting what I know, such that I could actually get stronger in the subject domain that I'm working in, and also, cater what I know to the individuals in a really inspiring manner. And I also saw some gap when I was a student while I was being taught the subject. So yeah, just out there with this motivation of, bridging the gap and, delivering a subject with much interest. And before starting a topic, or before jumping into the how to certain things are implemented, I start always make sure to start with its usability, demonstrating, okay, this is the magic this subject can do. So yeah, I think that's few things that I'm doing so far. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, so besides work, I'm not quite involved in like other projects as well, because um, I don't think I have that much time, because it's like I also write articles on Medium and some other platforms as well. So I think I code for during the day. I code, and besides that, I write these articles, and yeah, that's what I do besides working.
That's really nice, since like both of you are contributing in some ways, like even through Medium or even by teaching the individuals or maybe bridging the gap. That's really nice that those are some really major contributions that we might not usually point out to, but is. So next up, we have like the job hunt questions. I think both of you have already shared about how you guys got into the job that you are in, but maybe something that you like to add about your experience of job hunting, what approaches you used, and what really turned out to be like helpful in like the internships that you did while you were also studying, and how did all of it like really help to be in the position that you are today?
I think this is something that I hear a lot. Many, you know, people who are looking forward to get into the industry say that I've not been finding internships at all. Like, even if I'm applying, I'm not getting any kind of responses back. Like, so yeah, I think that's something that I've seen pretty commonly in many of the beginners. But yeah, like, along with that, what I would like to tell everyone is that make sure you are correctly, you're maintaining a good LinkedIn profile. Make sure you have the job notification for the job category that you're interested in turned on, because despite the fact that I've been seeing a lot many vacancies for machine learning engineers or interns, data analyst, business analyst, up and active for quite some time. And yeah, I understand that some of the job descriptions might get overwhelming. Like, they will be asking for like a year of experience for entry level positions. So what I would suggest is the 1 year of experience could you can account your investment in, learning the subject, getting your project, showcasing your personal project. You can count that as your experience into. If they feel like, if they go through your CV and feel like, okay, this is not the right candidate, they might not reach out. But who knows, you might be the perfect match for the job they just posted, right? So never stop looking, never stop applying. And also, there are different like communities. I think their networking is very important. Make sure you're always networking, connecting to people. And one personal suggestion that I would give out based on my experience is that, well, before the company that I was working in currently, that was, I wanted to make a switch because I wanted to jump to a different project. So while I was also looking for jobs actively through LinkedIn, applying stuff and also different other portals, I was not getting responses like many of us. And then what happened is, one of the job recruiting agents, they reached out on LinkedIn saying, would you be interested in this job? And I was not sure whether that is gonna be, what if it's a scam. I had that back in the mind, but let's give it a shot. I give it a shot, and then my application was actually taken for the really quick compared to being applied through another means. So yeah, I think you could make use of such agencies too. if that works for you, and apply for jobs. Make sure you're always looking. And if you're somebody who is probably a college student and not ready for a full-time role, make sure you look for freelancing portals. I think Upwork is an amazing space where you can maintain a good profile, apply to jobs, and get your work started. That could help you get experience that you can later take on to another kind of full-time role. Or even working in Upwork, I think you'll be able to learn good set of skills. So yeah, that's something that I would like to share to people.
Yeah, so I think Prakriti mentioned a lot of things, but I would also like to add something on it. So I think referral is really important when it comes to like getting a job, because that one person who is working in the company, if they can refer you for the position, then I think your resume gets shortlisted a little faster than if you apply through it. So I would say connect with the people on the LinkedIn and ask them to refer you for the position, or have a chat with them regarding your skills and stuff like that. So I think, yeah, referral, you can try to like ask for referral with someone. And also another important thing is you need to like tailor your resume to what the job description is, so that your resume, like, it does not get rejected in the first round, because the first round of the selection is based on your resume. So if you have that ability, like if you think you can ace in that role, then I think it's better you tailor your resume with the job description that's mentioned in the role. So yeah, I would add this.
Yeah, that has actually helped me to get into some of the things that I am in today. So yeah, I can vouch for all of those things that you said. So while job hunting, we do not always match, or we do not match 100% the skill set. Can you name a few skills that were crucial to get the role of the machine learning engineer?
For me, I think what stood out is engagement in different machine learning projects initially, and an understanding of the understanding of the foundational concept. Because when I started out as an intern, those were the things that I did put up on my resume. And alongside that, something that's really important, even as a machine learning engineer, is your familiarity with another tech tools. You're not just be building models as a machine learning engineer. You need to make the model ready for integration to maybe some other implementation developer, or maybe sometimes develop an API and hand it over to a client. So I think additionally, it's also important that you have familiarity with another other set of tools that does not just fall under the machine learning guide. And also version control system. That's something that we use collaboratively in in any kind of software development projects, things like that. And a very strong communication skills. I think that's not something that your CV can tell, but make sure you have all your experiences of your if you're somebody who worked in a student body while you were at your college, put that up. I think that just tells you that tells the person who's looking through your resume that okay, this person is a team player. And I think that's very important when you're to work in industry. So yeah, those are the things I feel like we should keep in mind.
Uh, okay, so if you are starting off, or for the entry level job, or for an intern, it would be better if, as Prakriti said, if you have a few projects by your side, a few projects that you have built. And I think an end-to-end project would be a better thing, because if you have a project that has the entire pipeline from the data preparation to the deployment itself. So then the end-to-end pipeline, then also the interviewer thinks that, okay, he or she has a pretty good idea on the entire ML workflow. So it would be better if you have a few of the end-to-end ML projects by your side before you apply. And yeah, I would add these things.
So also, can you share a few skills that you learned after you joined your current position, and what has your growth curve been like since you joined the corporate?
For me, I think I started out as a very unexperienced person because starting out as an intern, I didn't have much experience of working on in completely, well structured end to end projects. So the first time I joined my first company, I was exposed to this large code base that really scared me initially. But yeah, as I started working on, I got an idea on how are you supposed to make changes, how you're supposed to navigate through the changes without affecting what has been done previously, things like that. And I started working with Python, building some machine learning and deep learning models of my own, and then I moved on towards leveraging some open source large language models for fine tuning it into the data set that I have in hand. So yeah, I think over the years I've had the experience of from building a model of my own to using a pre-trained model. And yeah, like there's more to learn out there still, and the curve is like it's gonna spike up with a lot many learning, but so far these are the things that I've had the opportunity of experiencing.
Yeah, so since the beginning, I have also been learning a lot because I think degree does not really help in the tech field when you want to grow. So it is the ever-changing field, and you need to like constantly learn new stuff. It's like, okay, I've worked for these years, I have a good degree now, I can solve anything. So it's not like that. So there are like new models every second week. There are changes in the existing model. So you have to learn the every day. It's like learning core ways. You have to learn every day. And yeah, so since the starting, as I joined as after the fellowship, I joined as a trainee. So yeah, the first 1 month was all the learning stuff. So I learned few courses from the Coursera, and a lot from the team as well. So ever since the day when I joined, and also now I'm still learning. So yeah.
Yeah, so the fact remains that the learning never stops, right? What advice would you give to someone who is interested in pursuing a career in machine learning, especially in terms of skill development and gaining practical experience? Also, what are your takes on soft skills?
My advice would be, if you're somebody who is looking forward to, you've not started yet and you're looking forward to build a career in machine learning or data science, then just take your first step by creating a roadmap. like like there are different roadmaps created by different individuals online which are free. You can access it and curate it based on your experience. Maybe you're somebody who's already proficient in Python, so you don't need to start from that. Just curate it based on your need and just start learning. um, and I've also seen many people tell me that I'm somebody who's not very strong in maths and I'm very really scared of getting into the field of machine learning. So my advice for them is, if you're somebody who is intimidated by maths, try learning machine learning algorithms first, and the math that you get come across in those machine learning algorithms, try to loop back. Like once you're looking into the subject, you'll be fascinated by, okay, how is this prediction happening, and then try to break down those algorithms in granular levels so that you understand things in a really clear in a really clear means. So which is very important, and the better you understand, the better you'll be interested in. So that's really important. And yeah, there are a lot many free sources that you can access for prepping yourself as a machine learning engineer. There are books like Neural Network from Scratch, which is, I think, a great book for beginners. You can just start reading it. If you're somebody who does not like reading books, I think they also have the video playlist somewhere in YouTube. You can refer to that. So there are so many resources that you can refer to online and start your journey. The very important things are to get take the first step and start. So yeah, that's it.
So I would say like learn the basics first and start building projects on the go because like you don't learn things just by studying the theory or doing some random stuff. So it is important that you do some projects so that you better understand the ML pipeline. So learn the skills and build projects at the same time, and that way you understand things better. And also, yeah, there are a lot of resources available online. So it's really, it would be really easier to start off with the resources that are online.
So yeah, like both of you mentioned having resources and many books and videos um, to increase your understanding of the subject. Can you discuss the viability of resources and other educational opportunities for aspiring ML AI engineers in Nepal?
Yeah, like I think there is a lot many free books, free videos available out there that you can refer to work on your skills, to understand the basic concepts, which is really important. And also maybe some guided tutorials on getting on working around in an end-to-end project, which you can refer to. One of the books that I just mentioned in neural net from scratch. The other is, if you're somebody who is a very beginner, then you can refer to a book called Mathematics for Machine Learning, which is also a free option. The other is Deep Dive into Deep Learning, I guess. That's those are the books that you can opt for. And also, additionally, there are different LinkedIn communities where you will see people pushing up some really really pretty notes out there. I think that's something you can refer to too. So make sure you're active in LinkedIn or any kind of social networking site that focuses on delivering the subject related details. And other than that, like how Babina mentioned her start of career of joining a fellowship program, companies like Fusemachines, and there are, I think, many other companies who have started this fellowship things. And yeah, it's very important. It would be of benefit if you get into that. And amidst it all, make sure you're motivated and make sure you follow the track.
Yeah, so talking about the resources, so I think I also started off from the YouTube channels. So, source for a playlist, I think there's this Chris Naik and some Code Basics. So they have a really good playlist for the entire ML thing, and they teach really well. I think YouTubers all teach really well. I mean, I have covered like more than half of the syllabus of engineering from YouTube exam. So I really like how they teach. So I think it's better you start with the YouTube videos because it will make you feel comfortable with the terms, with the theories, and also. And after that, you can learn from the Coursera. So there are a lot of Andrew Ng's courses. So Andrew Ng he is really good in teaching. So there are a lot of his courses on Coursera. So yeah, you can apply for the financial aid and you can learn these courses from Coursera. So yeah, there is no any limitation for the learning resources. There are tons of them available. So to get started, yeah, you can refer to online.
Yeah, I've also like completed that module of Andrew Ng. That's actually really good. It like teaches from the very basics, and if you just get the gist of it, that's like really helpful. So yeah, I can vouch for that. So any comments on being a woman in tech? So how has the journey for you as a woman in tech?
Firstly, I feel so happy, glad, and proud to be a woman in the tech industry. And before coming into the before coming into the field of computer science, I had few of my relatives around telling me, "Why don't you take up, nursing or try doing MBBS or things like that?" But I opted for computer science. Like I mentioned, I just filtered out the things that I was not interested in, and I ended up being in computer science. And I think this is the very right decision that I took, and I'm so glad that I took this decision. And about being a woman in the tech industry, I've had the opportunity of working in two different companies so far, and um, uh, it's kind of a sad thing, but I've been the only woman in the entire machine learning team. So yeah, I do, I do wish there were more female coming in. But having raised the question, why do we do not have many women being hired, the reply I got from my team managers was that we don't have much applicants applying for that, and given that the hire rate is low, that might be because the companies that I'm working is, we do have comparatively small number of machine learning team, a really small size of machine learning team. But then I guess the ratio is not very even in companies with mass hiring and a really large team. While I feel like with time, I'm really positive that this is going to change with events like such and more women coming in to the tech industry. But yeah, overall my experience has been really amazing, and I'm really happy to be one of the women in the tech industry, and more specifically a woman in the Nepali tech industry.
Yeah, I'm also glad to actually be a woman in tech. So, I've always like experienced a very less number of women since I started with my engineering. So, like there were only 6 or 7 girls out of 50 in my section. So, also in my company, in the AI team, the number of women is very less than other tech jobs. I think there are a lot in software or data as well, but in the ML it is really less. So but I have never like experienced things like okay, working with men being some tough thing, or never thought that oh, there are only men in my team. How am I gonna deal with them? So um, it's like it's similar. Like if you are in a team, then you help each other communicate things. So uh, it's okay to be the only woman in tech. So I'm okay with being only woman in my team as well. So yeah, it's great to be a woman in tech and seeing so less number of people in this field. I think I'm making a change and maybe encouraging other women in this role as well. So
Definitely. So, if not an ML engineer, what do you think your alternate career would be like? Like, what alternate career could you have pursued?
If not a machine learning engineer, I think something that has been revolutionizing the way things are happening around, apart from machine AI, is marketing. So yeah, if not a machine learning engineer, I see myself somewhere in the digital marketing spot. You know, trying to make change with trying to examine and try things out of marketing to see how it creates an impact. So yeah, I would have, I think, opted out for digital marketing if not a machine learning engineer.
So I think if not ML engineer, or say if not maybe computer engineer as well, then I would have been an architect because I was kind of interested in studying architecture after I gave my engineering entrance. So um, yeah, as I said, I was never certain on what to choose until I chose computer engineering. So I even went to give the exam for architect as well, but I don't know, something struck and I chose computer engineering. So I think I would have been an architect if not computer engineer.
That's like really nice. So we are done with the questions from my side. So let's look at some of the questions that we got from the registration form. So first off, we have, can you share some of the biggest misconceptions or myths about working in machine learning and how do you address them?
I think one of the myths that I see in many about the machine learning job roles is that we believe that as a machine learning engineer, you're just expected to build a model, Well, that's not the case. There are only few companies that have that access of having machine learning engineer just build a model, and everything else is covered by the other team. But given that fact, it's really important that uh, make sure you are also equipped with other technical aspects of developing a machine learning project, building an end-to-end project. That's something that we discussed about already. And the other myth, I think, is that we do not have enough vacancies here in Nepal. I would like to count that as a myth, because there are a lot many companies focusing on hiring machine learning engineers or data engineers, or you know just somebody who works with data and builds models. So there is, I think, the number is growing, the demand is growing every day. So yeah, I'd just like to say, share that it's, make sure you're not demotivated. The number is growing, it's hiking up. And if, even if we don't see AI being implemented as a solution in Nepal itself, but I think there are many company worldwide projects that is being brought to Nepal, and I think that's an amazing opportunities for us. So yeah, there's opportunity out there. Make sure you're preparing yourself for that. So yeah, those are the few things that I feel like are the myths.
Okay, so Prakriti mentioned a few of them. So I would say I think the misconception is that people think ML is only for those who are expert in maths. And yeah, I've been hearing this a lot. And most of the people who are starting off asks like, okay, I don't like maths. Can I do ML or not? So yes, maths is necessary to understand the fundamentals of ML at the beginning, but then there's libraries, frameworks, and tools built of that you can use directly. And the other thing I would say is that I have been hearing a lot that AI will replace the human or mostly the software jobs. So which I have been hearing a lot from mostly my family, relatives, and my parents are like, okay, AI will have your job, so you need to learn some good things. Otherwise, you're gonna be jobless and things like that. So I've been hearing this a lot. Uh, so I would say no, that would never happen. So at least for maybe 20, 30 years more, I believe, because machine is like it is trained on the data that human provides, and yeah, human is the one who is operating it, so it can't like match or exceed the intelligence of human. So while it may like automate a few certain tasks, but there's always a need for a human to oversee other things that the AI does. So yeah, still we are safe, I think.
Yeah, this was like really something that needed to be addressed, because everywhere you go and you tell people that you are working on IT or you're a software engineer, they're like, oh, the AI is here, so they are gonna like take your job and things. So I think this is like really myths on the whole industry itself, right? So I also would like to mention that our audience can, if you have any questions, you can just like drop it on the chat or just raise your hand. The floor is open for all of you guys to ask your questions while I just read out some of the questions from the registration form. Um, so next up we have I want to start my career in machine learning. So how to start and from where to learn, since most of the courses are paid, and right now Coursera only offer 90% scholarships.
Okay, so yeah, I think while I started, I did apply for some grants on Coursera, and that did help me get into the course that I was interested in free of cost. But like we mentioned about earlier, there are so many open free options that you can look up instead of looking for those paid courses on Coursera. Like what I would like to say is, don't start take up a course with the intention of getting a certificate or something. Just take any course, any online medium like a YouTube channel or a book, to just learn the skill, get develop a project. So if you're looking for, I think we already mentioned about the resources already. So yeah, try those options. I think that's really helpful. That will really be helpful for you.
Yes, and also adding up, I think Coursera has most of the courses where you can apply for the financial aid. So it is, I think, free of cost. So most of the courses that you can start off, so it's free of cost. So yeah, you can apply for the financial aid on Coursera as well.
So I see that Angela D has raised her hand. Angela D, you can ask your question.
So yeah, first of all, thank you, Prakriti and Babina, for this very insightful and informative session. So my question is more on the side. So you both mentioned how important is referral, right? So the network building is very, very important. But for fresh grads or like who are still doing bachelors, it's very difficult to go out and make those connections. They can apply online, they can learn the skills, but that important thing, referral, is missing out. So how do you suggest for younger people to work on that, to make the connections, to meet people and all that?
Yeah, well, I think there are times when you're a beginner, uh, your message on LinkedIn that gets missed out by somebody, you don't really get responded. But a way where you can, build a really strong connection is by participating in workshops that is being conducted by different communities out there. I'm sure that I think there are a lot many communities even in Nepal which are, organizing virtual meetups or even in-person meetups. Like there is this app called Events Tribe, which actually we do get events that are registered on the app. We do get an idea of which event is happening when and where, and whether it's free or contains some kind of cost. It's not just for tech, it is for all kind of events, but we do get events idea about events through there. And also by looking into LinkedIn, many events, like how events are marketed around in LinkedIn. So make sure you attend events, make sure you attend panel discussions, workshops, free of workshops. I think Pulcho campus is something is a place where they conduct locus event, and under which they are also conducting workshops. And when you attend workshops, you meet people, you meet mentors, and those mentors will be practicing software development somewhere, and then you build a link, right? So that's one way. Just make sure you're just grabbing the opportunity of learning and building a network so that it gets propagated later on.
Yeah, so Prakriti mentioned about the events and workshops, and I would also like to add on, like, you can always message people on the LinkedIn as well. So if not for the referral, maybe for learning and for getting some guidance on where to start from. Because when I started, so I first I saw a person who was constantly posting stuff about ML, like how he was starting his journey and what are the things he learned. So I instantly messaged him and I asked, like, what can I do to start off in this journey? And actually, he had a group of his friends who were actually learning ML things from the beginning, and I joined them. Yeah, and I learned a lot more from that as well. So you can get a lot of knowledge from a group of people who are learning things. So yeah, that way also you can reach out to the people.
Thank you. And my other, more like a comment. So how Dubai भन्यो there is so few people in your space, in your company, and I don't know. So it's I think it has been going on because although I'm not from the tech field, I know how less represented woman is in the tech field. And I was glad that you feel proud to represent that batch of underrepresented group, right? So I hope the scenario gets better and we see more people, I mean, more women in this space. And overall, like this NWiC and doing this session was more like to bring out those examples so that people can see, like the women and the minorities can see that you can do it. There are people already doing it. And I actually believe the scenario is better now because there are already examples, and we have this a lot of online resources to help you out. And so it's more like a comment that, I mean, if you want it, I mean, take the step, and there are people to help you out and the resources to push you for that next step.
Yeah, that is something really important because so many girls that I've seen are like just afraid to take this step just because there are very few people in the field. So it's like I think it's very important that we be proud of where we are and actually promote ourselves like we are doing even right now. So that's a really nice and inspiring thing for all of us, I guess. So there is one question from Amritpreet Singh. So, do you have any tips for a software engineer with 3-4 years of experience to leap into AI ML?
I think you're already halfway through because machine learning is also about developing and delivering a subject. You already understand what are the requirements, what are expectations of what an expectation of clients look like when it's about delivering a project. But the only thing that you need to add in is understanding the data and making in the automation really scalable that you can do with machine learning. So yeah, I think you can just start take a leap and start by trying to build models, trying to learn the foundational concepts underlying machine learning, then move towards deep learning and then generative AI. So yeah, uh, you can just start dedicatedly learning machine learning, and I think the process is going to be really smooth for you because you're already a software engineer.
Um, so I found this really interesting question from the registrations. So what would be the most pressing need that needs to be addressed in Nepal, ranging from healthcare to corruption to boosting the economic or anything else? And how can AI helps us tackle that?
um, I think there is a lot many segments or sectors where we can bring in AI. Of course, not with 100% assurance that AI is going to get us the accurate result, but of course, there we can cost out cost going into the manual work. But as somebody who has been working in US healthcare automation, I do see a huge gap that's actually and that a huge gap in the healthcare facilities being provided to individuals in Nepal. Like there is no organization in our medical records. Like in US, once a child is born, I think his or her data is being stored like throughout his or her lifetime, and that data is being later utilized for you know many other diagnosis and understanding the patient better. And I think it has been also proven that all of those helps in making in the healthcare facility better for the citizens, and also uh, making the entire service providing process really efficient. So I do see that lack here. I don't think there is any formal um, data collection being done for an individual to entertain a healthcare service here in Nepal. So that's something that we could do. Yeah, that's what I feel like something we can take a step ahead in.
Yeah, I also think regarding AI, most of the other sectors are already touched by tech or by AI with some projects and all. And I think AI in healthcare can be a like a booming topic in few years. I mean, for in the context of Nepal as well. So yeah, I would really love to see how AI will help in healthcare sector in Nepal.
Um, we have one question on the chat by Asis Manandar. So I'm struggling to get the job in AIML. Is there any company who is looking for AI engineers? How should I get updated about the vacancy?
I do not know the company exactly. Do not know the company that might be hiring a machine learner that might have the vacancy right now. But yeah, like we discussed during the session, there is always LinkedIn that you can refer to. There is always some agencies that you can refer to for the openings. They do have usually have the list of companies having the openings. So yeah, those are the steps that you can take, and make sure you always apply to all the vacancies that's present there. And just how Bobina said, make sure you tailor your CV before sending it to them.
Yeah, I think to look for the roles, I think LinkedIn would be a perfect place where you can search for various roles until you know like which company you are hiring, so that you can go to the company's page and see the roles. So I think it would be better if you build a good LinkedIn profile, and if you started to like search for the job roles from the LinkedIn itself. So I have seen a few roles. ML roles these days as well. So yeah, you can always see it from the LinkedIn.
Yeah. So I saw another really interesting question. So for a beginner, where should one start their learning from to gain a competitive advantage over their counterparts? This is from the registration form.
Okay. So, like, I think when you're a beginner, try not to think about your counterparts, because that might affect your learning process. It might get overwhelming. Let's try, during the initial days, let's just try working on, understanding every subject in a very, very clear manner, so that you stay motivated, because you get bored and you stop learning a subject when you start, not understanding it. That's something that I think happens. So make sure you understand the subject really clearly. Take up the roadmaps or follow any playlist or courses, and then you'll be up there. And the next day, and once you're really up with your skills, I think the next time you'll be telling, oh, I just got into a company as a machine learning engineer. You never know. So yeah, just don't think about your counterparts much.
Yeah, and I would also like to say like consistency is the key. Like you have to be consistent throughout the journey, throughout the time you get that first job. So stay consistent, learn new skills, build projects, and yeah, you will be there.
So the last question we have for today is what suggestions or message do you have for aspiring women engineers in the field of data science and machine learning?
It would be definitely to go ahead and add up to the number of women in the tech industry. Do not feel like you're gonna be the minority there, because you're not. We're already scaling up that number, and it's gonna be really empowering, because the next generation is gonna be the revolution out there is gonna be entirely done through tech, and you'll be really happy, and you'll be in peace getting to know that you're somebody who has been making an impact through the tech. So yeah, if you're somebody who is even slightly feels like, okay, maybe I should try tech, then take a step ahead, try it out, develop projects, and figure out whether you really want it or not. Other Instead of having your family members say, maybe you're a girl, you should go try for another option like being a nurse or a doctor. Don't let those things come into you if you're somebody who is sincerely interested. So yeah, take the step forward and without any hesitation.
Yeah, so if you are interested, then just as Prakriti said, just take that one step. If you are into the role, then like it will be eventually easier for you to cope with other things. Not just you don't think like you will be the only women in tech, then how do I like handle stuff and like that. So if you are into the role, then you will get it do well. So
Yeah, it's really amazing. And just be proud. And if you really want to follow the heart, you should follow the heart. So thank you so much everyone for joining. Thank you so much Prakriti and Babina for joining us as speakers and sharing about your journey and insights with us. This was a really informational talk, and we hope to see you in all of our other programs as well. So I think I just got a hand raise. Nisa, you want to add on something? I think you should later.
Oh, sorry. Do you hear me? Are you hearing me?
Yes.
Okay. I just want to thank Prakriti ji and Babina ji for sharing your expertise, your knowledge and guidance on machine learning are invaluable. Thank you so much for everything you do.
Thank you
Yeah.
thank you for attending the event and giving us this platform to share what we have been able to experience so far.
So this session will be on our YouTube channel too. So maybe you can refer it to some other people who missed out today. And thank you so much, everyone, ending this session. Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you for this wonderful session.
Thank you.